Good afternoon, guys. My name is Alina Shaltsova. I'm an immigration attorney from New York. In today's live presentation, I'm going to share with you some recent immigration news. We're going to see what USCIS policies we're going to deal with in the nearest future, what's happening with immigrants and IDs. And of course, in the end, if some of you have questions, I'll be happy to answer some of those questions. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for watching. Please join, comment where you are watching from, say hello, let me know your name. I'm always happy to see you guys. And don't forget to type up your questions as well, so that I will be able to go back to them once I'm done with my presentation. Hi, Mido. Hi, Hwasa. Hi, Sid. Hi, Sadiq. Thank you very much, guys, for joining. Don't forget to start sharing this broadcast so that more people will be able to join us live. And we'll also maybe learn something useful, perhaps. And we're going to start. Well, the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about would relate to USCIS policy with regard to when and how to answer, provide response to USCIS various notices rather. For example, request for more evidence, a notice of intent to deny, notice of intent to revoke, notice of intent to rescind. All those documents you may be receiving from USCIS if you are in some sort of immigration process. And you may be aware that almost from the very start of COVID, USCIS started allowing people to present their answers to those notices a little bit after the due date. A little bit after the due date, they give you about extra 60 to 90 days extra. And about 2 weeks ago, I think I had a video because American Immigration Lawyers Association stated that beware, those flexibilities in responding to different notices will be taken away. In other words, for 2 years, we knew that we have extra time answering those notices, and we were taking that into consideration when we were accepting cases as lawyers or where clients had to prepare their responses. And we were afraid that those flexibilities will be taken away. But now USCIS just recently published another extension saying that if you receive some notice from them that dates up to October 23rd, 2022, you will have that extra time. What is extra time? Extra time is that you have to respond, but it's not going to be stated as such in the documents you receive from USCIS. This is very important to know because many people are still confused about it. For example, you're going to receive a request for more evidence stating that your response is due by October 1st, 2022. And that request for more evidence is dated, I don't know, let's say July 20th, 2022. In reality, because of this extension, automatic extension, these flexibilities, you're going to have extra dates. It's extremely, extremely important, right? So you're going to have extra dates by default due to these flexibilities. Very important to know that. So sometimes you don't have to be so stressed out that you don't have enough time to collect evidence. Maybe you're waiting for that judgment of divorce to come in, maybe some documents from overseas. Maybe you're just looking for a lawyer. And for example, a traditional notice of a denial is going to tell you that you have time to file motion to reopen or an appeal within 30 days. But now you know you're going to have more, right? More than 30 days. It's very, very important to know that. And also, if you are in delays of some sort, and some of you, I know some of you like to submit everything the last minute, this will be good news for you, especially for those who like to procrastinate and leave everything to the very last minute. I know some of you exist. I meet people like that every now and then. All right, so that's good news overall. Another interesting news, I'm not sure if it's good or bad, but here's what's happening. So the Biden administration is considering to have a new ID for immigrants. This is what CNN reports. The Biden administration is developing a new identification card for immigrants to serve as a one-stop shop to access immigration files and eventually be accepted by the Transportation Security Administration for travel, according to two Homeland Security officials. So remember the news about the Real ID Act that is going to kick in next year unless a new extension is granted. So by the end of this year, it seems, the Biden administration is going to have this card implemented. And from what I understand, that initially people who are on ISAP, this intentional supervision programs, people who are in detention are going to get those IDs with QR codes, meaning you can scan them with your phone. And then perhaps everybody else have no idea what the plans are, if it's actually even going to work. But the thing is this, they're saying that this ID will be acceptable form of identification for travel within the United States. Because when the Real ID kicks in, if you're going to have, or at least according to the explanations we're given now, if your state driver's license is not going to have a special star prove that you were verified as the person in legal immigration status in the United States or citizen, you will not be able to board the plane in the United States. Nor that I advise any people who don't have status really to travel by plane, because it's always risky. But some people do travel with the state-issued IDs or even international passports currently, and they don't have any trouble. However, if such a person is going to be noticed by CBP, they may be placed in removal proceedings, and it's a real thing. Even now, even during the law enforcement priorities memo, which wasn't in fact and not anymore, people who were encountered by the CBP without valid status were placed in removal proceedings. I have some people calling me stating that they received a notice to appear in February, for example. I was kind of surprised because the person didn't really do anything, didn't commit any crime, but they did overstay the status. And upon encounter with the CBP, they were near the border, they were issued notice to appear. So you need to be mindful of that any person in the United States without status may be placed in removal proceedings. The government may also move to reinstate an order of removal against you. So you have to remember that. So this ID may help you guys to travel, but of course it's not going to be proof of any legal status. But it's overall, it's an interesting solution. I'm not sure if it's good or not that somebody scanning your QR code will be able to access your whole immigration file. That's kind of sounds to me like a violation almost of your privacy, because those codes, if you just grab your cell phone and hold it next to that code, it just takes you to those links immediately. And I don't know if you would want to have something like that on your person. That I'm not sure how it's going to work. That like everyone will be able to just scan you and find out your A history, or there will be some sort of a protection actually, and you will need to have some authorization, a password. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but the thing is that they're working on new ID, and that's the news I wanted to share with you. And maybe good thing, probably like everything, something can be good and something can be bad. We're going to find out if it's even going to become the real thing, right? We're going to see. I'm sure from the purposes For those who cannot travel and would love to be able to board the plane after Real ID Act, it may be good news. So we'll see. All right, so now I'm going to go through you guys' questions. Hi, Mido, registry, any update? No update, unfortunately. At least I'm not aware of any movement with that regard. I don't think it's even possible at this point to receive any update. We're going to see what's going to happen. Hi, Alina. Oh, we have similar name from Florida. Hi, Kaka. Hi, Paul. Hi, Ritesh. Serious marriage. I like your nick. Not see in my life, not see women very charming like you. Well, you don't know me. Maybe I'm not that charming. You don't know. But I'm sure there are plenty. You just need to look for them. Hi, Ali. Nice to see you. I think Ali is joining every time I have live. Hi, Sadiq. How long TPS take time normally? You know, guys, I have to tell you that TPS is a very interesting status to apply for. Last year, I submitted an application for somebody who is from Venezuela, and we were waiting for 8 months to get approved. 8 months. So we just received an approval, basically, and the person is going to be very soon is subject to for refiling. They will have to refile, right? Because TPS for Venezuelans was extended, and every time they extend the TPS designation, you have to file again, unless your previous filing is still pending. But I received reports, some other lawyers shared with me that TPS applications for Ukrainians, some of them were already granted. Not my personal experience, but I was like, whoa, only 2.5 months and a person received a grant of TPS. At least that's what some lawyers stated. But typically it's going to take a long time, guys, 6 to 8 months, I would say. Hi, Arman. Hi, Jills. Any update about family reunification? Apart from very long wait times, according to the visa bulletin, I don't really have any update, guys, unfortunately. Not really, nothing new there from what I know. Hi, Sunshine. Sunshine also joins regularly. Hi, Sunshine. I renew my work permit from August, and it's 11 months now. So what is the problem? I really do not know, sweetheart. I have no idea why it takes so long to receive a renewal of the work permit. All I know that most likely you are subject to that automatic extension, and you don't really need to worry much that the new one didn't come in. But it's a problem. I have no idea why it takes so long. It never took that long. Before pandemic, you would never wait for the extension of your work permit for 11 months. They said that they're trying to address that problem. I've seen many different updates from USCIS about it, some USCIS ombudsman's updates, that they're working on it. They're trying to make it that, I think they said the goal will be 4 to 6 months. And that's why they also have those automatic extensions in many different categories, but not for every category. That's an interesting part. Not for every category. Some categories you have to wait for your work permit to be renewed, and you don't enjoy that automatic extension. So it becomes a problem. Why? Don't know. Maybe shortages of the staff to blame. Maybe something else is going on. USCIS in general is asking for more money to operate, because the money that they have from filing fees is not enough to sustain the operation, from what I understand. Inflation, you know. Hi, Loxine from Jamaica. Hi, Dick Ars from New York City. Yay. Hi, Mar, South Carolina. Hi, Jalal. Please help me. Let me know how I can help you. Hi, Majed. How long do I have time to file I-45 after I got the I-130 approved? I mean, time window I have to file I-45 before USCIS close my case. I don't think you have anything pending. I mean, why would they have anything pending if you never filed I-45? Typically speaking, in many categories, and of course, I do not know who sponsored you, who was the petitioner for I-130, but I assume it was your spouse, you would be able to file I-45 at the same time with I-130 or concurrently, unless there was some sort of an issue, okay? Jurisdiction, the court has jurisdiction over I-45, or maybe you are in a preference category and couldn't adjust at the time. So, but usually I-130 would never expire, right? It doesn't expire. It can be terminated sometimes if it was used to obtain an immigrant visa, then you have to get a new one, or if it's routed to consular processing and the consular processing terminates the registration due to inactivity, that may be a problem. But you're talking about I-45, so I don't think you need to worry that I-130 will ever expire. And the case is not open. There is no open case. Once I-130 is approved, that case is closed, right? The petition is approved. There is nothing else pending. So you have to file I-45 based on that I-130 approval. I think, I do not know. You should consult with an attorney. I'm just assuming, right? It's not real consultation. It's just like little tips for you to research and ask your lawyer. Hi, Lee. Hi, Tia. Hi, Felix. We can be friends on Facebook, absolutely. Hi, Dowlet. Thank you for the video. Can you please answer my question? How long it will take to get decision from asylum supervisor after congressman inquiry resulted in escalation to the attention of supervisor officer from your experience? It's hard for me to tell you. Depends on what's going on. If you're waiting for your decision after your asylum interview, I hope within 30 days you're going to get the decision, right? Usually you get answer pretty quickly as to what's going on in your case after congressman places an inquiry, all right? I would say within 30 days, usually you would get an answer. It's a different story that sometimes it takes congressmen, especially nowadays, longer to place the inquiry because they also have now a lot of people. Every lawyer advises their clients and public to go through the congressman, so they have a lot of cases. It's going to take them a little bit longer than it was, like, let's say 2 years ago to place an inquiry. But then typically I would say 30 days, about maybe 60 days, the longest, usually. Hi, Arman. Hi, Wilmer. Unfortunately, I do not read Spanish. I will not be able to, and you don't want me to read Spanish. It's going to sound horrible. I'm sorry. Hi, Ajidi. Good afternoon. How long it takes immigration judge to sign motion to dismiss after government lawyer already signed PD request in New Jersey? Well, when did you guys file the motion? Because first you have to have the consent from the prosecutor, then your lawyer have to file the motion. How long it's going to take depends only on the judge. Okay, I have cases I filed like a week ago and they were granted by the judge almost immediately. Okay, lying, maybe not a week, 10 days. And I have cases that I filed months and a half ago, and I already called the court and no answer still. And the court tells me the motion is not in the system. So I think what you need to do, or your lawyer has to do, is just to follow up with the court, make sure the motion is in the system. And then maybe make a call to judge's secretary and see what's going on. Maybe the judge is on vacation or something, you know. Usually fast, usually, but sometimes not. So it's like there is no good answer really here. I'm sorry. USCIS is conducting interview in person or online. I've never had an online experience with USCIS. It's in person, guys. Usually it's in person. You do have to, how to say, in certain states, at least, let's say in New York, you would have to be mindful of certain COVID-related measures, like have a mask on, stay apart from people, bring your own pen, but it's in person. Hi, Pierre. Why USCIS takes so long to respond to a RFE? Why maybe USCIS takes long after you responded to the request for more evidence. Maybe they're verifying the information. Maybe they're trying to find a way to send you another RFE. You know what happens? Sometimes you submit an answer to their request for more evidence and they say, oh yeah, thank you for submitting that, but we have more questions. Okay, so it can be many different things. Maybe background checks. I would know. Maybe they forgot about you. Things can happen, guys. It can happen. Unfortunately, it can happen. Yes, rarely, but it does happen. It happens. Can someone high up here go H-1B in third country while pending asylum in the process? I wouldn't talk about the chances of rejection. Nobody knows. I can't tell you, just like a mystery. I do not know. But is it possible? Yes, it's possible. That I can confirm that if you have an asylum pending and you cannot return for the visa interview to your home country, you can request that a different post accepts you for an interview. Okay, that's possible. It's totally up to them to accept you or not, but yes, it's possible. Hi, Mohammed. Any news about you visa applicants' conditional approval? I just published some. You are not on my community board. No, I know now you're not. Because if you were, you would see that about a week ago I published about, actually, it wasn't about conditional approval. I haven't even seen anything like that, okay? But if we're talking about those determinations for work permits, then that's different, by the way. Then they're considering some of 2017 filings, okay? That's about 5 years backwards. Very slow. I don't know why so slow. Don't know why so slow. Hi, Forrest Mushi. How long does it take to get your I-751 approved? Oh, that's an excellent question. Sometimes I meet people, guys, who are fighting for their cases from 2016, 16, 18. In most cases where you are still residing with your spouse, you should receive your decision on I-751 within a year and a half. But if you're no longer with your spouse, I do not know why. Unless you have overwhelming evidence of abuse, overwhelming evidence of real marriage, maybe you had baby together, and even if you had baby together, but your marriage was short-lived, you may get stuck in that I-751 process for years. And I do not know why. They did state that they will try to improve it and will stop calling people for interviews if they have this I-751 pending and the case is basically proven. But it takes a long time and I have no idea, why, and can't really give you any optimistic news, unfortunately. I wish I could, but, wish I could. Hi, Striker. Any chance for DREAM legislation to pass? As of yet, I know there is plenty of legislation stuck on negotiations and blocked by Republicans. I hope the pressure of the midterms makes them act finally. I hope so too, but you need to know something. It's not only Republicans, unfortunately, who are blocking things, okay? If you recall, and I will never forget it because I'm still so angry about it, in like 2012, 2013, it was Republicans who proposed legalization for dreamers. And I know it was not ideal, but you know what? 10 years later, there is nothing to replace that. Nothing. And back then, it was precisely Democrats who stated they don't want it because it doesn't give them everything they wanted. And 10 years later, we're still in the same situation, and hundreds of thousands of people are suffering because they're not sure as to what's going to happen to them. So I don't think it's only Republicans to blame in real life, you see? It's a whole policy and politics and them calculating what they're going to lose if they're going to give you a green card, like 2 votes somewhere from people who will think that you are not entitled to anything because when you were 6 months old, you crossed the border. You know, it doesn't matter that now you've been living here for 30 years, paying your taxes and having American children, and you don't speak any other language except for English and speak it better than some people who were born here. But it's unfortunate reality. I'm sure you guys getting frustrated about it, and I'm getting frustrated about it because something has to be done already. You know, at least for dreamers, for TPS holders, for I think registry would be an absolutely great relief if it passes. At least the person will have clear, you know, understanding as to how and when they can qualify, what they can do for this, make a fine of some sort. You know, they had this before. You pay a fine, you know, nobody says that, oh, they will be forgiven. How can you forgive them? Well, but we practice forgiveness not only in immigration law, but in other areas of law and in life in general. So for those people who say that you absolutely cannot forgive those law violators, think about it. Especially when you go to pray to whoever you're praying, think about it. What is it that you're saying? So I think it's politics, you know, politics and maybe something else, maybe some interest, financial interest. I do not know. If it was my way, it would have been different. But you know, I do whatever whenever I have a chance, be it advocating for immigrants, helping immigrants, just speaking to friends and family. You know what I think, and I think anybody who is mindful of the situation of many immigrants should do the same whenever you guys have a chance. Family members as well, because it all forms the society's perception of the society about how we want the things to be dealt with within our country. Maybe some places deport everybody without a chance of getting them green cards or status, but that's not what America is about. Never been, never should be, right? Especially if you're a long-term resident with strong ties to the United States and a contributor. So I do not know. I do hope that November is going to push people to start acting on their promises, and you know who I'm talking about. But I do not know, guys, what's going to happen. I don't think there is a living soul who does know, unfortunately. All right. So, hi, Abdul. Tell me about family immigration work permit. I would spend days talking to you about this. This is such a huge topic. I would suggest that you go to my website and see. I have special, and the website is going to be displayed right here. I have special little blogs about how one can immigrate to the United States, what is needed, general requirements, and going to give you a good idea. If any of that is relevant, you can always call in, make a consultation, reserve a consultation. We're going to go through your ideas, see if it's possible for you or not. But in most situations, you have to have a family member to sponsor you. Employment, you will have to have an employer who's going to commit to sponsor you. Sometimes people who have money, who are wealthy, can also sponsor themselves through investments. That's general typical ways how it works. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching. It was a pleasure. Thank you for joining me today and always. Always very happy to see you. Please don't forget to like, share this stream. And I'm going to, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. And I'm going to update you with any interesting immigration news as soon as I receive information. I promise you I will, and I hope to see you soon.